Welcome. We're so glad you joined us today. This is the Central Women's Podcast and YouTube channel, and we're talking about created to be me, which is how God has created each one of us individually to be uniquely designed in His image and to do something here on this earth for Him. What He's created each of us, He has put it in our hearts. And today we're all here. My name is Cassandra. You want to introduce yourselves?
Debbie and Christine.
Yeah, and we're talking about, you're going to lead the discussion tonight, right?
Yes,
okay.
And I'm excited because it's on the 5 love languages.
Yes. Okay, I love the 5 love languages. This was really helpful for me, especially as a parent. So go ahead and dive in what we're talking about.
Well, the book was written by Gary Chapman in 1992 and it's been revised many times. Yeah. And so, it came out, and originally the book was in the form of marriage, how to, what is your love language and, marriage. And it's been revised, a lot since, but because it's so valuable, it's timely. But anyway, it started out, it started out targeting couples, and then it was singles, and then it was children, the 5 love languages for children, raising children, and the workplace, and teens, and military, and bonded families, and it just kept going. I didn't know that either. So it just kept going on and on. So, you know what? We always need to communicate better with those we love. I mean, can't we all say that?
Yes.
And so the information has been absolutely, like I said, helpful to every person who reads it. It's interesting because it was meant for the Christian audience, but it's meaningful to everybody. Everybody seems to know what the 5 love languages are. So, and here's a story to prove that how timely it's been. So, my father-in-law passed away in April at the age of 98. But at the age of 96, he married Myrna. So, Mom had passed away a few years before, and he married Myrna. And about a year after he was married, which has not been that long ago, he called Dave and said, I have to tell you something. Dave said, what? He said, somebody gave me this gift of this book, and this new book. And I'm finding out that it's really helpful in my marriage.
Oh my gosh, at 97
Oh my
years
goodness.
old. Oh,
That is so funny.
Yeah, 97.
It's never too late.
It's
never too late.
never too
No.
late. He said it's so helpful and it really makes a lot of sense. And Dave's thinking, new book, okay. So we've been talking about, like you said, Cassandra, how God has created us, each one of us, to be. In Ephesians 2:10, for we are God's workmanship, created in Christ Jesus to do good works, which God, He purposed ahead of time for us to do. So that's kind of mind-boggling, isn't it? That God prepared a way for us to know how we were created to be, and He did it, So in this series, we've been talking to invited guests. We have taught about people in the Bible. We are approaching it from different ways. We will be talking about different tools to help you understand, like 5 love languages. We're doing a few other things, and assessments of what our gifts are and how we can serve Jesus better. All those things we're talking about. And the question tonight is, so what does this book really teach? The 5 love languages. What is it actually teaching? So I love questions, and here's the question. So, how do you feel most loved? How do you feel most loved? In other words, you can fill in the blank. I feel most loved when, and that's what the book's about. And you find out more about yourself. You find out about the ones you love. It's a great tool. It also says in John 13:34, and I'm sure you've heard this verse, for those of you who've been around, a new command I give you, love one another. As I have loved you, so must you love one another. It's so important to know how to love well, and we can all learn how to reach out and love others better. So I think about our speaking language, and I've been a studier of language for years. So the speaking part of our language and not the bodily language or other than speaking. But if we, I think of a couple where maybe one is from a country and they can't communicate very well as a couple, and how hard it is, and what they want to do is learn each other's speaking language. And so if we can look at it that way, so we have love language in other ways other than speaking. We want to do better to be able to communicate to love better. So, okay, 17 years ago, our son and daughter-in-law from Colorado were bringing back their new children from Ethiopia. So they're two, and they're brother and sister, and so the excitement was amazing. So we couldn't get too excited because life is overwhelming when you come from Ethiopia and you come to the U.S. and you have new parents. And so they told us, why don't we wait a few weeks and then you can come to Colorado. We'll meet at a mutual place and we'll do it that way. And we said, yeah, that'd be great. So we met in Estes Park. Dave and I lived in Chicago at the time, and we literally, it was a fly in and fly out. It was 24 hours of being with them, and that was it. And that was what was best for them. So there we were, and we had a little cabin. So there were two things we wanted to make sure we did. So we're at this campground, and we've got this cabin, this little cabin, and we talked, we prepared. It was like, okay, number one, we want them to know that we love them. We want them to know that we love them. And number two is we wanted them, this is maybe a little selfish, we hoped that they would know who we are by the time we left.
Yeah, of course.
So here we go. So Betty was almost 6, Manny was 2 something, and I took a tea set because I know that in Ethiopia they have their injera bread and their tea time.
That's smart.
So I took a tea set to have, because the language was not going to be there. They'd been here in the U.S. for a couple weeks, so it was just a word here and a word there. So I played tea party. We had a little truck for Manny and and he didn't say a word the whole time. He's just stunned, and he's only 2, and so he didn't have developed language anyway. So there we are doing that. And Dave's game with the kids was this. It was where's the penny?
Oh yeah.
Tablet.
Yeah.
Great communication tool, right? Great communication tool. And that's what we did so that they would know that we were interested in them, that we loved them, and that's what went on. But anyway, I want to come back to this later. Well, one of you asked me later.
Okay, yes. Yeah.
Okay, so anyway, I want to go to the 5 love languages now and come back to that, and there's a reason. So the 5 love languages are, you probably know. And I'm going to suggest that if you know what the 5 love languages are, you reread it and you go through it again. I think in my zillions of years, I just read it for probably, I think, 3rd or 4th time. And it was really good, and I was reminded that I need to do some things differently and more vividly.
Right.
So anyway, so these are the 5 love languages. Well, let me see what they are first, and then we'll choose.
Okay.
Gifts, words of affirmation, touch, acts of service, and quality time. So I'm going to do this. Okay. Christine, you want to, you know which is yours, but let's see if you choose yours. Just take one. What's it say?
Gifts.
Is that yours? Nope. What do you think that means to have your love language as gifts?
Oh, yeah, great question. So from my understanding perspective is people that their love language is gifts is they enjoy getting gifts from other people because that's their love language of giving to people as well.
Exactly.
So they feel good when they give people gifts, so they also want people to give them gifts because that's their love language, and
Right.
that's what can get us in trouble, right?
And
When we assume somebody else's love language is that.
Exactly. Or if we're really bad at gift giving, or we go, oh, because we know that person is like, wow, it's really important. The
Right.
type, they put a lot of thought into it, a
Yes.
lot of love in it.
Yeah.
It's like really important. Is it
Yeah.
gifts for you?
No,
Okay, I didn't
I'm a
think so.
terrible gift giver.
Okay.
Oh, I struggle with that
Well,
one.
we do Briggs do stuff. Is our
Are
motto?
we supposed to ask you? Is gifts
Oh,
yours?
gifts is not mine.
Okay.
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 Gifts
No,
is
no,
not mine. But we
Okay.
do. We don't give things. We give experiences in our family.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go.
Okay.
What's it say?
Acts of service.
Is that yours?
Yes, it is.
Oh, let's hear about it.
Did
mine.
you out? Yes.
Oh, okay. Acts of service.
Acts of service.
Okay, let's hear.
Yeah. Like, just it could be something literal, like helping with the laundry,
Mm-hmm.
or doing the dishes, or like those. Like, to me, that is, or taking my car to get it washed, or like the acts of service. It doesn't even have to be a big thing; it be a little thing. Making something and bringing it to me. It doesn't matter what it is, but that just like tells me that I am loved.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want to
Absolutely.
comment more?
Exactly.
Is that
Just
just-
Yeah.
saying, yep.
It's
just
like,
exactly what
you did
said.
that for me.
Yep.
I feel so loved.
So
and
loved. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Mhm.
That you noticed that I needed some help
Yes.
without me asking.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
Without being asked.
yes.
Yes.
Without being
Without
asked.
That's the
asking.
thing. Without
If
being
I have
asked.
to ask you, that's no longer part of my love language.
You know what they're doing? They're saying exactly what the book says. So I had a feeling if we did it this way, it'd be more fun.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
Okay.
But that is
Okay, should I do
You're gonna
this?
pick,
Okay,
yep.
I'm just going to shuffle them. I'm not cheating.
Okay.
Okay. Words of affirmation is not mine.
Okay.
Okay.
But I know that we have a family member whose words of affirmation. It's
Yeah.
not in this household, but one of our kids. And it really matters written, like old style, not just even text or things that you say. It really, really matters. And he actually has a file of words that people get
wow.
into.
That's super
It really
cool.
Yeah.
matters.
My husband's is words of affirmation.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Wow.
So I need to remember to respond to a
Yes.
text because
Yes.
it matters.
Yes.
Yes.
And just all those it really matters. And
Yeah.
it's just it makes words of affirmation. It's a big one.
It is
Yeah,
a
whether
big
it's written or said, it really doesn't matter. But and that's how he feels seen and
Yes.
loved. Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
Yes. Did you know that what you did matters so much? And it mattered to so and so, and they said this. Stories like that.
Yeah.
It really matters for
Yeah.
that person who's. Okay, so Christine, what does yours say?
Quality time.
Is that yours?
So quality time. Okay, I have to be careful that I'm not overpowering.
Why?
Because I really like, for example, with my husband, like I would like to spend more time with him probably than he would like to spend with me. I mean, we get along, but because quality time is mine.
Yes.
And I have to say, okay, so it's just really knowing that you feel loved because, guess what? On Friday, I thought it would be good if we did this. What do you think? Oh, I think that's wonderful. That's great. I love it. So you feel loved. You feel loved when you know that person. Wow, that's a big deal. I mean, we got in the car. We got to go to this place. It's quality time.
Yeah.
But I have to say, the acts of service thing kind of, I think we have a secondary one sometimes because you know why acts of service I love too is because somebody spent a lot of time doing whatever they did
Right.
to do that and so it's the whole loving the whole time thing.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Because time is
Do
a
you-
very valuable commodity.
Yeah.
So when someone gives their time. Yep.
Yeah.
So we all have to be careful we don't go overboard on this.
Right.
I have to be careful that I don't. Okay.
So the last one.
Yeah, the last one is
Touch.
touch. Do you have family members that have their touch?
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have one of my children
Yeah.
And that's not me. And I have
Yes.
to remind myself.
Yes, right. That's really good to know.
This is, yes, very, very
This
important.
really matters, doesn't it?
It really
Like
does.
super matters.
Yes.
Do you think about it, or you're dealing with her, and so you purposely sometimes do this?
So if there's something going on, like I know that this will be a calm, a
Yes.
loving, like everything
Yes.
is okay. But I really had to remember, my children are all young adults now, especially in the teenage years, that when that whether I was in my pajamas and ready to go to bed or not, like it's like you have to remember this with when they present themselves as a teenager, especially, and they're like, yes, I'm here for that, and let me give you a hug, and let me, yes, we're gonna, yes, it's just so important, and that's why, I mean, now I'm much better because I know, but you have to remind yourselves, especially while you're for me, especially when I was raising my kids, that this is a value, and everyone in my family's different, so
Yes.
staying on top of it.
Isn't it
Yep.
wonderful? Now that we've just covered them all briefly, isn't it wonderful to know that that's what they are,
Yes.
so that you can relate to them better,
Yeah.
right?
For sure.
Yeah.
I have a question. So when you're the one whose gift is, or whose love language is gift, not gifts,
Touch.
excuse me. Was she like in your face, like a lot, like?
Oh, sometimes yes.
Yes. Because
Yes.
we have somebody
And
in
wants
our
to be
family.
like right beside me
Yes,
on the
and
couch
touching,
when they were little,
touching.
and for me, I was like, oh my gosh,
Give
are
me
we
some
done? I need my.
Space,
But that was
space,
that
yeah.
she. So yeah,
Yeah.
I'd be the parent and just get over yourself and
Yeah.
let them get over you.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if we understand this,
Understand that, and when I really understood that was as meaningful to her as acts of service was to me, when I could really wrap my brain around that, I was like, okay, no, this
Right.
is, no, I have to do this as a
Yeah.
parent because I love her and I want her to know.
Yeah,
I
for
love
sure.
her. Yeah.
exactly. So we kind of have to know, understand everybody else, knowing
Right,
that,
right.
well, right now, if I just did this and I got closer,
Yeah.
even though I'm not thinking of it, but we know that that's their love language, that sometimes we have to do that. So anyway, those are the 5 love languages. You can reread, whatever. But, and again, how do I feel most loved? In other words, I feel most loved when, like I said at the beginning, and then you can ask that about the other
Right,
person, and then you
yes.
understand that person a little bit better.
Yeah.
For sure.
So, somebody want to ask me?
Oh,
you guys
yes.
just circle back.
Circle back to what happened with the grandkids.
What happened?
Okay, so the 2 goals were, number 1, that they would know that they were loved, and number 2, hopefully that they would know, who we were. So, first of all, I'm not a gift giver, but I knew that taking a tea set was important. I knew that we didn't know them, so we needed to, I think by that point in my life, I really understood the 5 love languages. It's not that we got the book out and we did it. But we knew that we had to multitask with not knowing them.
Yeah.
That they had to
To
see
figure it
love
out.
in us that,
So you have to do all of them.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
And I
just
look
to see,
back
right,
and we
right.
kind of did, and I think it's because we put so much prayer into the thing.
Yeah.
Like, I want this to go right. We both felt that way. We want this to go right.
Yep.
So we were leaving, and we were at the point where we were saying goodbye, and we had to drive to the airport, and they're still at the campground, and they're at the car, and our kids are there, and our new grandkids are there, and we're saying goodbye, and we give them a hug, and I almost didn't want to ask this question because I was afraid of the answer.
Yeah.
But I said to the older one, Betty, do you know who this is? And I was pointing to my husband, and she was quiet. She paused because every word was labored. She said, Daddy's daddy. Betty? And I could hardly get it out. Do you know who I am? nice mommy. Oh my gosh, I will never ever forget that. Ever, ever, ever. And you know, she will never forget the teapot and this. She's going to be 22 in November, but she remembers that. And whatever we can do to just kind of try to learn the love language of our loved ones. And sometimes it's more difficult than others. And sometimes we're completely out of our realm. We were totally out of our realm. We didn't know what to do with this. But even with our own family, if we could just kind of reach out and try to understand their love languages, it just really matters in life.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it definitely makes your relationships more intimate and go smoother when you really do learn somebody else's love language and try to honor that.
Yeah.
Just like it's a game changer.
It is.
It's a true game changer.
It is.
Yeah.
So anyway, read it for the first time, reread it, apply it again, because we all have to be reminded of it, that's for sure. But
Absolutely.
thanks for joining us. We have some more interesting things about how God has created us to be who we are.
Don't forget to like and subscribe and share this with all your friends.
Yeah, and I want to remind everybody in the description you'll find other links to other assessments and a beautiful song and just some questions to ponder on after you watch each one of our episodes. We want you to go a little bit deeper if you so choose. So yeah, just want to remind everybody about that.
Thanks for joining us.
Yeah. Bye, ladies.
Bye.